What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Cho, Corey Ryan Forster, WellREDComedy.com, WELLRED Comedy.com. That's where you can find out where we're going to be on the remainder of our 2019 tour. We just got back from Lexington, Kentucky, and as always, I cannot say enough good things about Jordan and the crew there at Comedy Off-Broadway. It was a tremendous weekend. We were taken care of in every way possible. We even got homemade banana bread from Teresa, one of the managers there, and you know, that's not even to mention the crowds. Y'all were absolutely fantastic. Thank you for coming and making Lexington, Kentucky feel like a home away from home in a sense for us. That's obviously, you knew we loved it because we recorded our album there, but this weekend, this is the first time we've been back since our album, and y'all showed out, and I hope you enjoyed the new material. On next week, October 4th, San Antonio, Texas, then on to Dallas, Texas, then Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Phoenix, Arizona, Charlotte, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Denver, Colorado, and then we will be finishing the year, rounding out this 2019 tour at the best comedy club in the country. It's Zany's in Nashville. That is December 19th through the 22nd. Those shows always sell out. Do not wait on your tickets. It's going to be a blast. Those are our homecoming shows. All our buddies come out, and it's just it's great. It's a controlled chaos shit show. We always do a great job during the shows, but then afterwards it gets a little insane, and it's always super fun. Then we get to rest for about a month or so. This podcast portion, the portion of the podcast, the dates, that is as always brought to you by SmokyBoysGrilling.com. Go to SmokyBoysGrilling.com and get all the rubs for all your meats. Also, CarveVodka.com. Go to CarveVodka.com and check out what everyone's saying about Jacksonville's first and only craft vodka distillery. CarveVodka.com. Carve your own path. You silly butts. This week, we are just super thrilled to be joined once again this year by none other than DJ Lewis, our absolute most popular guest, our most requested guest. And I'll be honest with you, I think we're spoiling you guys a little bit. We've had him with us a bunch this year and hope to have him a couple more times before December. I'm sure he'll be coming out with us, and or, you know, I'll just call him over to the house and we'll shoot the shit and we'll throw out a bonus episode. Anyways, enjoy this episode and come out and see us on the road. And also check out Trey's new series on Facebook. He's doing watch-alongs on Fox News. So go check that out and watch his head explode while he tries to watch Sean Hannity and not throw shit against his wall. Anyways, love you. Skew!
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
Mercy, mercy, fart on me. That's the way that love should be. Baby, you're the only one I see. So mercy, mercy, fart on me. Sheesh. That's art.
Are we on?
We're on.
We going?
We're going.
Here we are.
Well,
DJ.
hey, you.
Crystal Skulls.
Yeah.
What about them?
Worst Indiana Jones movie off the top.
Fuck that movie. I'm talking about the
Concept.
the items.
The girl you went to school with.
Sure. Crystal Skulls. Yeah.
It's a roller derby.
Yeah. Somebody need to do that if y'all ain't done that out there in the derby world. I don't know if y'all.
God, we need to get some Derby Girl fans because it would be hitting
Super hard.
They hit for you.
Yeah, man, I know a lot of those girls down there. Yeah, I know a lot of them down
Andy
there.
has always wanted Derby, but she's afraid she'll fuck up her face.
Dre did for a while. She derbied for a while and fucked her knee up real bad.
Them Derby girls used to come to the comedy
Damn
fest.
sure
That's
did.
how she met.
Were they
them
fun?
girls? Oh, fuck yeah, they were fun.
God, they seem
yeah.
so fun.
God
They
damn, they
seem like
drank.
softball
they drank.
players.
They
They seem like softball players who are into metal music.
That's
pretty
pretty accurate. Yeah,
I'd
that's
say,
pretty
yeah.
accurate.
Yeah.
And softball
They
girls
hit.
in college were the most fun.
Yeah, they hit. And all that mess.
Yeah, I remember them girls.
Chattanooga roller derby.
That's
So
what it
you
was.
don't know about Crystal Skulls?
Yeah, I know about them. Like
Okay.
they're supposed to be now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were they made by the aliens?
Right.
Are they actually alien skulls? Do they? I mean,
No, the ones I'm talking about are the ones that are like the
more than one kind?
story goes. Like in the 1800s, people kept digging up all these crystal skulls.
Right.
Mesoamerican, like ancient Mesoamerican artifacts, but in different parts of the world.
Right.
So it's like it was this big thing where
So
it's
there
like,
was
what's this? The origin of these, all these different
And they harness
cultures
some
all
kind of
over
power.
all over the world created these crystal skulls that are very like intricate and all that, But
I'm sorry. And some other people might. Are you telling me there was very intricate crystal skulls from back in the day found in very different parts of the world?
yes, but
Okay.
but
But
it has basically been, for the most part, found to be like a hoax. Like they were made by people at the time and it was all bullshit. But there are plenty of people, like conspiracy theory type people still today, who think there's more going on with the crystal skulls. And I heard about this and it just seemed like something you might have some thoughts on.
you know what? That kind of thing right there. I remember hearing it, and I remember seeing it, and after seeing it in Indiana Jones, and being like, "What the fuck?" And then maybe probably seen it on Ancient Aliens or something like that. But I remember it being one of those things where it was like, I don't really know where this fits in with my beliefs. So you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what this does for me. Whatever
it's like-
it is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Hey, DJ.
Yeah.
I think maybe hold your mic up here. I think it's coming up.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No,
All right.
it's not your fault. That mic's shitty.
All right. It ain't my fault your mic shitty.
Yeah.
Ain't my fault. These
Well, but-
ancient cities.
We were talking about
Take
aliens
their
recently because
crystal skulls.
you were
see.
there.
Yeah.
And we talk about aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was cracking me up because, so, old boy from Blink-182,
Yup.
Tom DeLonge, big
Yup.
conspiracy alien guy for a while.
Uh-huh.
He had a thing recently where he, was he the one that released these videos somehow or
See,
something?
he
'Cause that's
released them from how? Like,
Right.
so
He, like, made them famous,
infiltrated.
maybe.
Yeah, where'd he
He
get 'em?
infiltrated
I
the
bet
Navy.
somebody sent those to him. Somebody within the Navy who knew he was into that shit, I bet sent them to him. And he put them out, and they're like videos of UFOs. And then what happened was the Navy itself came out and acknowledged,
Yeah.
those are UFOs. We don't have an explanation
Yeah.
for that. This is all true, what this
Yeah.
guy is saying.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, I said, do you think that he's super vindicated by that, or do you think that he's no goddamn shit, I've been saying it for years. And what you said, which cracked me up, was you're like, how'd you put it? You're like, well, no, he's lost all credibility now because the government.
Yeah,
agrees
once the
with him.
government,
And
once
that-
the government says, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Then that ain't what it is.
That can't be what it is because the government said it, so they got him.
Is that-
they got him because now
Yeah.
he's just sitting at home like, man, maybe the truth isn't out there.
Yeah, just
you know?
tearing his "I want to believe"
Yeah,
poster off the
I
wall.
no longer want to believe.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe it anymore.
Is that why you don't believe in crystal skulls? Because you saw in Indiana
No.
Jones, and it's once it enters the pop
And that
culture
could-
lexicon, you're just like, fuck this
It
Well, it's
shit.
about the
No, no.
government, right? Not pop culture. It's
Right.
it's when the
Well,
government
that is the government,
acknowledges
Trey.
something.
Hollywood is the government, right, DJ?
I mean, I would say that the government's probably something we can't even see.
I'm with it.
You know, it's probably in our minds. It is. Law is in our minds.
Law
you know
is
what I
in
mean?
our minds.
Yeah, law.
Corey got very worried about hotel law.
The hotel
last
law
night.
was after
Yeah,
us
yeah,
last
yeah,
night.
I was,
Had to
dude.
do
Well,
with
I
the
mean,
hotel law.
yeah, we were on a completely different plane at that moment. And by the way, the hotel law did come knock on the door.
I know.
It didn't hit. I've had trouble with hotel law in the past. If you've listened to the Mason Your Butthole episode, which DJ was also on.
You did the same exact thing to this hotel law that you did that one.
No,
No.
no.
I wasn't
He
ma-
closed the
Very
door.
different.
Well, he was nicer.
Yeah, no. I literally said I'm sorry, and he just goes, and I go like that, like it was.
It was fine.
That was fine.
The
No,
other dude,
one-
Corey told him to get the fuck out of his face.
Well,
It's
and
like-
for the record, he goddamn deserved it.
I agree.
So yes, no, that was very different.
Let me ask y'all a question,
Okay.
especially you, DJ.
I got you.
Your inner monologue, right? Everybody's got one, I guess. What does it sound like?
Huh.
Better than me,
Okay, does it?
a little bit.
I feel okay. First of all, I feel
Oh
like,
yeah, yours sounds exactly like you sound because that's the
Yeah.
best. Yeah, no,
no,
that
I ain't
makes
saying
sense.
it's the best, but
That
I'm
makes sense.
saying,
It sounds like you sound to yourself.
yes, which
me
is
too.
different than how I sound to everybody else because you hear your own voice.
No, okay, that's fair.
But
Yes.
but do you always have it? Meaning, like, I feel like sometimes thinking about things is not. It doesn't take the form of an inner monologue.
No, sometimes you
it's
just
like
think it.
images or
Yeah.
or whatever. Like it's different. It's not
Yeah,
always
yeah,
an
I'm
inner
with it.
monologue, but
I'm with it.
sometimes it is an inner monologue. And
Yeah.
when it is, does it sound like you or what?
yeah,
It sounds like me, but like when I'm excited.
What does a deaf person's inner monologue sound like? Do you think?
It's images, yeah.
It'd
And
have to be, wouldn't
they
it?
think in
Signing in your
signs. They
brain?
have to because
That's wild.
you can think in
But-
pictures.
but, I mean,
if
don't
you
we
have a
know-
language, you think in your language, and that's
But
their
don't we
language.
think in symbols anyways? Aren't letters and words?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Just symbols.
Yeah, you're talking
guys?
about language. DJ's so stoned.
You kind of sounded like Dave Chappelle a
yeah.
little bit when you said that to me for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm chartreuse.
Yeah. What about
What?
It's
You ever see that on that Jamie Foxx?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I
yeah,
just watched
yeah,
that last night.
yeah,
that
yeah.
weirdly,
Yeah.
eating that shitty ass hotel sandwich.
Yeah.
I watched that episode specifically,
Yeah.
and that was fucking funny.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, what's going on up here with you, buddy? I'm saying
Might just be
specific
like-
to that
well,
question,
you know,
not
it's
in
funny.
general.
It's funny because we was just watching commercials, right?
Uh-huh.
And like you'd be watching commercials and like also it's a thing on like buffalo wings. And
Me and
it'll be-
DJ watch commercials with the sound off. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But you got to guess what it is first, because you don't know what it is. There's like a lemon flying across some flames, like goddamn fucking, you know what I'm saying, squirts. You know what I'm saying, like all these high definition flakes hitting a fucking chicken wing. You're like, oh shit! And then next thing you know, a family's getting in a car. It's like drive a Hyundai. So it's like fun to goddamn. It's fun to try to figure it out.
During one of the debates, I had the sound all. I turned the sound down during the commercials only, and they had a commercial for this movie. By the way, this is an all right time. I can't remember. It's a movie called The Hunt.
Yeah.
You remember that? You know what I'm talking about? It was this movie about rich people hunting poor people
Yeah, they
in
had
the
a-
woods.
they had a knock in
and
it. Yeah.
They played the trailer for that in the middle of the debate, and I've seen the trailer with sound, and I realized this is exactly what they were going for.
Yeah, yeah.
But with the sound off, I didn't know what, and I thought it was some kind of fucked up campaign ad. Like I thought it was a political ad
yeah.
until the
We
very
were just
end
talking
of it.
about campaign
Until
ads.
the very campaign ads is wild, dog.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, then so they put that out, and I saw that, and I had that thought, and I tweeted or whatever. So it was kind of on my mind, and then I saw a few days later that they just like pulled it completely, just canceled it.
Yeah,
right?
man,
I mean,
it's-
or they made the movie's made, but they're not
yeah.
going to release it. But because why though?
Because it
Exactly.
has
They was
something to
hunting
do with
Trump
Trump
supporters.
supporters.
That's who was getting hunted.
yeah.
Okay, see again, watch it with just the sound. I thought it was just like a rich people hunting poor people
Yeah,
thing. So
yeah.
it was like
Which-
liberals
Yeah.
hunting
Yeah.
Trump supporters.
Yeah, rich
Okay.
liberals, and then offended Trump.
Do they
And
literally-
he tweeted about it, and then they pulled it.
Do they literally
What a bunch of
reference
pussies.
Trump?
Yeah, dude.
Bunch of
Yeah,
goddamn
yeah.
To be fair,
snowflakes,
okay.
dog.
To be fair, a lot of liberals was mad too. They were like, "Oh yeah, well, you're trying to make us out to be monsters who would hunt these people because
So it was
they're
just
racist."
a hitting ass movie. Probably had a lot of gore and blood. And
Sturgill
like,
was in it.
Sturgill's in it.
God,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Wait
man.
a minute. Does it actually mention Trump by name, or does it just,
I
is it
don't
just
know.
heavily implied?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I would have
I
to
read-
know that
yeah.
because if it
'Cause
doesn't
if it
actually,
and it's
Yeah.
just a rich people hunting poor
you know
people
what? No,
thing,
I don't
that's
think
fucking
I don't think
fine.
it does
Look,
in a trailer.
Mu-
I don't
it
think
didn't in
that
the
they-
trailer.
Yeah,
Much like every shitty person who has an opinion about it, I just read an article and I didn't even hardly read it.
but you knew Sturgill was in it.
Y'all ever seen?
Somebody else told me that.
y'all
that
ever
was a separate
seen Surviving the Game?
surviving the game.
It's a movie.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
It's a
yeah, I have,
90s
yeah.
movie
Yeah,
where
yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of rich dudes, including Gary Busey
Yeah.
Right.
and fucking
I'm already
Charles
in.
S. Dutton
No
and,
shit.
and Rutger Hauer hunt
Hunt
a
people.
homeless man played
Oh,
by
yeah.
Ice-T.
Yeah.
And it is rad.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's a
is.
fucking
saw that
sweet
movie.
man.
Yeah, it is.
Ice-T rules. He's
Dude, I
crazy.
love Ice-T.
He had
man.
them big dreads. Is that
Yeah,
when he had
yeah,
his
yeah,
dreads?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They do that on Always Sunny. They hunt cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's Frank's
Ice-T.
idea.
Dude, I used to have this, like, I have this flashbulb memory from New Jack City, which I fucking love that movie. I've seen it a million times. But specifically Ice-T, when he's got Chris Rock's character, Pookie,
Yeah.
in that, like, alleyway or whatever he's got, and and Ice, serious as fuck, hard as fuck, goes, man, shut the fuck up before I blow your brains out.
Yeah.
The lisp.
Nino Brown's a bad motherfucker.
No doubt.
Brown.
Man,
Movie
dude.
hits. And Dick Gregory real OG. At the end of that movie, he's the one that shoots Nino Brown, and right before he does it, he says, he comes out, points the gun, and yells again, completely seriously, "Idolater! Your soul is required in hell."
Oh yeah.
And dude, I feel like that was a big time movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
Yeah.
that type of shit don't get put into movies anymore.
No.
That, like cheese, like
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
good cheese. That's
It's
that
great
good
cheese.
Shakespearean
I
cheese.
love that type
It's
of
great
shit.
That's
cheese.
my favorite cheese,
I feel like
Shakespeare
they don't do it
cheese.
in-
Age at the time.
Aged cheddar,
Aged
baby.
cheddar.
Yeah, oh, you right. I ain't. Yeah. But I,
thought he
think,
was
man.
being literal.
So Samuel L. Jackson broke the goddamn mold when they came out with like the biblical bad motherfucker that's like
And Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction,
Yeah, Pulp
Jules.
Fiction.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like that whole
Iconic
like
character,
yeah,
for
breaking
sure.
down that whole thing, it's hard to like. I don't know, man. But how
There's
do
an
you
art to
compare
good cheese.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I'm not saying that that's cheese, but like, how do you make it look anything even comparable
Right.
after that? Now,
Right.
I mean, I like
When
that
I was in high
epic
school,
shit.
I thought that fucking. I mean, we've talked about this movie on the podcast before, but I thought specifically the poem or the prayer that they did in Boondock Saints
Yeah.
before they killed somebody
Yeah.
was super rad.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So how does
think
that,
at
how
the
does that
same
movie
time.
how's that movie hold up for y'all now?
Not good.
Right. It don't.
Yeah,
right?
no. But
I
when
can
it
still
first came
appreciate-
out,
I can still appreciate it because of how much it hit for me when it came out because I was the perfect
Sure.
age for it.
Right,
and
right,
everything.
right.
But being objective about it,
Yeah.
no, it don't hold up.
I'm the exact same way about it. Like I could still watch it right now and have
And
a
enjoy
fucking
it.
oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy the shit out of it. But like some of it now, I enjoy going like, Jesus,
Yeah.
what the
Right.
fuck was I thinking with because when I first saw it was like 18, 19 years old.
and that was the
college.
baddest shit you'd ever seen.
Yeah,
and
in my
talking
whole
about
life-
good cheese, dude, Willem Dafoe in that movie.
Oh, my
There
Lord.
was a fight. Dude, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theatrics, because you're
Very
really, you're talking
theatrical,
about
yeah.
stage
I might have to have
theatrics
some bagel
translated
on film.
into film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you have a style of that, Guy Ritchie kind of comes to mind. Like if it would fit in some of his movies. If you have a certain style, you can get away with it because there's a certain amount of suspended disbelief when
Right.
people are watching.
Yeah, but
your
Boondock
movies.
Saints was very much.
What's
not
the
bad,
original?
yeah.
Wait, what's the Michael Keaton Batman hit for y'all?
Oh,
That's
love it.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't my favorite, but
No,
I mean,
He's
it's
my,
good.
he's my favorite Batman, but my favorite Batman movie is
Really?
Christian Bale. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Well, how you
He-
feel about
Michael Keaton's my favorite Bruce Wayne.
I like Michael Keaton. I like Michael Keaton. I like seeing him in there, and then I like the movie. I like Jack Nicholson, but like the last time I watched it, it was kind of like
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh
it
yeah,
doesn't- I'm sure that one, and I hadn't seen it in a while, but
I
I'm
haven't
certain
either.
that one, especially when
I
you have
also saw it relatively
Yeah,
recently
yeah.
and had the same thought of
when
like
Yeah,
a movie
yeah,
like
yeah,
a movie
yeah.
like that, it's almost like
unfair
It's
to judge
unfa-
it by the
it's-
standards.
That's
of
how I
our
feel, too.
time.
That's-
I
What-
mean,
what
ultimately-
comic book movies have become now.
Yes.
You can't judge that
No,
movie by
no.
these
not
standards.
even just comic book movies. Any movie that like that's attempted to have some sort of special effects, like it wouldn't even have to be superhero, but like it ain't their fault how that shit's gonna age. I don't like did the storyline and like the acting not age well because that seems
I
pretty
guess you
hard
think-
to believe.
I mean, man, yeah, with Jack Nicholson.
The
I mean, it was
acting,
all
no,
yeah,
the
no, yeah,
acting,
the acting
yeah,
was great.
Well, then yeah, the other shit like that's
yeah,
not there.
yeah. I remember how cold that. Have you ever danced for the devil in the pale moon?
Pale
Yeah,
Moon.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just still cold, but like it's not the same kind of cold.
Do you think it's because it's been beat into our heads? We've heard it too many goddamn times.
It could be that. We could, yeah,
There's
like
a
if you
lot of
just seen it,
versus,
yeah, yeah.
versus, in my opinion, talking about shit that was cold and remains cold.
Yeah.
Bring up-
The Christopher Nolan Batman
Okay.
movies, and Batman Begins.
Oh, yeah.
Like when he gets that dirty cop up in the air and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
"Tell me where they're at," and the cop's like, "I don't know where they're at. I don't know. I swear to God, swear to me."
Yeah.
That shit
Dude,
is still cold as
Yeah,
fuck.
it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's
Ain't
fucking
lost a
fucking
fucking
Tombstone.
I was about to say,
degree.
every line of
Fucking
Tombstone's
Tombstone. It
still
has
cold.
not even
Tombstone's
lost.
got a lot
No
of good
matter.
cheese.
Yeah.
Tombstone's great.
You tell him
cheese,
I'm
man.
coming, and
Yeah.
hell's coming
I'm
with
with
me.
me.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's-
revenge he's after.
Yes,
It's
Tombstone's
the
Tombstone's a perfect
reckoning.
example, man.
All right,
Yeah.
That movie is
You see-
cheesy.
What
in
about
the best way.
so many
rules.
Denzel,
Yeah, but it doesn't-
so
I don't-
many Denzel roles have borderline that, but he makes you buy that this character really would talk that way.
Yeah.
Like the whole Sheeps and Wolves monologue in Training Day.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Though
think a human
Denzel
being
don't not
would,
hit in nothing.
like imagine
of
being
that
in a
dude.
car with a
Denzel
person
rules.
and he starts giving you that monologue. You'd be like, "What the fuck is this dude's deal?" But watching Denzel do it, you're like, "Nah, man, this is how cops talk."
Well, like
You know?
I just don't. Sometimes I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes,
Sure.
sometimes when people are like, they're seeing something. They're like, oh, nobody really talks like that, and I'm like,
So
right,
what?
because people don't hit.
That's Aaron Sorkin's whole
Yeah,
thing.
people-
Nobody talks the way that people talk in Aaron Sorkin shit, but
Right.
it hits to listen to.
Right.
Also, Amy Sherman Palladino from Gilmore Girls and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
Nobody talks the way she writes characters,
No.
but it hits to listen
That's what
to.
I'm saying, like-
So
But
fuck
then
it.
Quentin Tarantino's whole thing is that he's getting credit for being the opposite of that because he writes great dialogue. But then he'll throw a character in there like Samuel L.
Yeah.
who is the opposite of that, almost for balance.
It just all hits.
It does all hit.
Yeah, it's just all
Yeah,
great.
it's almost as if storytelling and allowing yourself to be entertained by it is one of the most enjoyable things to do as a human.
Certainly, man. Oh, man.
Speaking of,
Well, I'm just saying, I was going to talk about just storytelling, and, you think about, like, dude, that shit we watched last night. That metal
Sturgill,
shit.
yeah.
Oh, that
No,
metal.
the metal shit is actually what I've been
Oh yeah,
thinking
you weren't
about.
in there, Sabaton.
We
Nice.
came back here and I showed them a bunch of my. I've been on a real metal kick lately, y'all. I've gone down a rabbit hole, and let me tell you something. There ain't nothing on the other side of that rabbit hole but fucking Purple Lightning and wolves.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Warships and
Yeah,
goddamn,
but
man,
anyway,
it's so
I
fire.
introduced them to some of my metal shit last night, and what were you gonna say about it?
Well, I was just gonna say the theatrics, the storytelling in it, comparable to Sturgill's, except for not really.
Well, see, dude, metal is great for that. 'cause
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck about like. I don't know, not pretense or whatever, or irony or anything. They just there's one metal band called Power Wolf,
Yeah.
and their whole lore is that they are Catholic priests who are also werewolves.
Right.
So at night
Yeah.
they're out fucking drinking people's blood and slaughtering people, and in the day they're praising the Lord, and like their whole oeuvre of songs is based around that concept, and like in metal that's just fine. Like that's
yeah.
It's very much like Sturgill's. It's very much like opera. Like we're moving
Right.
into this
Right.
weird medium now where we can like. I don't. Have we ever? We've had things like this with like The Wall and things like this. Of course, this has been going on forever.
You do like
But-
concepts.
yeah,
'Cause
but
that's what I was thinking.
moving
like,
these awesome like concepts together to make these.
yeah, 'cause
concept albums definitely been a thing.
But
Mix it
concept
up with-
bands, that's I don't know that that's new, but there's definitely not as many of them as I wish there was after hearing Sabaton last night.
Sabaton's
I wish
my
there was
shit.
if there was a country music band that did exactly that,
Right.
pretty much.
Right.
That would hit maybe even hard.
But
maybe
For
is-
even
anybody
harder for
listening
me.
don't know, Sabaton's whole thing is they are historical metal. Every one of their songs
Yeah.
is based around some actual historical event, usually a military thing like a battle or a war or something. They got this goddamn song about Alvin York. And so it's a hard-ass metal song that references Tennessee over and over. So, like, there just ain't much that hits harder for me
No,
than that
rules.
song. I mean,
It was
fucking
really
rules.
amazing.
we got to go to Kraken, guys. Kraken's
Is that a metal festival?
in
I
Prague.
I would love to go to that.
Where's it at?
in Prague, and I think
Yeah.
it's the biggest or second biggest in the world. I think it's in Prague. I met some dudes on my honeymoon who were on their way to there. They were Canadian. They had like drinking horns and shit, and they
Fuck
ruled.
yeah.
They were so fun.
There's
dude.
a song by Amon Amarth, who's a Viking metal band called Raise Your Horns,
Yeah.
and it rules.
Yeah, they.
So
I
hard.
think that they either sung that song or just randomly would be raising their horns.
Yeah.
They would headbang. This dude's name was Devin. He worked in lumber mills, and he'd save his money, and then he'd just take 3 months off and travel the world listening to metal bands.
I can't
Fuck
decide
yeah,
whether
man.
or not how many days is this?
What do you mean?
What?
How
The
many
festival?
days
Oh,
is
the
the festival?
fe-
Oh, I was like, this is what?
Yeah,
buddy?
I didn't know what he was saying.
8,000. I think 3,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
just 2.
That's probably about the max.
1 would be good for me.
I think 1 would be good for me. But if I'm already going to Prague,
Yeah,
you go to one day of the festival. and stay
one
in-
day of the
yeah.
festival, 6 days hitting in Prague.
'Cause
You
I
also want to
like-
go to a discotheque. They got like 5-story discotheques there. You see some
Yeah,
wild
'cause, like,
shit, buddy.
I'm just now getting into metal because of Trey, and it hits from maybe, but like even the music that I am into, I don't think I could do more than 1 or 2 days of Bonnaroo anymore. Or like, I'd probably just, I can't. I just
It's the energy,
it's
baby.
hot.
That's what the drugs are for.
I could do it, but only in the like
RV.
old dad.
I'd be doing it in an RV
the
now.
dad
Oh, well,
with
I'd-
money version.
Yeah.
In an
Yeah.
RV. Like
Well-
I could do that for
well, then,
sure.
well, then
buddy.
never
But
mind.
if you're
Yeah.
talking about camping in the tent
Yeah.
and stuff, I don't think I could do that.
I've been on that
anymore
RV
either.
point for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, yeah, never mind.
right.
RV. I'm
Brian
fucking-
literally
that's
bought
fine.
an RV for Bonnaroo.
Yeah,
Now,
hell.
he'd be taking it elsewhere, but literally he spent one time at Bonnaroo and was like, everything was great, but sleeping and fuck that. I'm getting
That
heart
would,
rate.
dude, it's fucking a nightmare. Like it's absolutely.
It's a young
awful.
man's game for sure, dude.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
can
the
do it in your early 20s.
First time I
but-
went to Bonnaroo, I was 28, and I was already too fucking old.
Right.
Like I was like, man, no, this
damn,
ain't
No,
it.
it's
been that long?
it's a marathon,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, man, that was
Dude,
2016.
I haven't been to a Bonnaroo since 2013. I went to 5 straight the years before that, but I mean that's fucking 6 years ago, and that was the last one I went to.
I need to grow up and stop going to Bonnaroo.
No,
Down there.
no,
No,
I'm
he
never
is.
gonna stop.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
man.
there's a very specific reason I haven't been the past 2 years after that because I was going to go. It was like the 1 year we had tour stuff, and then last year I was on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
And me
it's
and Amber,
small, but I have seen before, and this ain't never gonna happen now because of the way they've gone. But like, the first year we were really hitting, we thought for sure that we were going to be on the comedy lineup at Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
We thought that was happening, and then it didn't.
That
And
was
I
the
said-
last year they had a tent.
And I said at that point, I was like, I ain't going back until they pay me to go, that motherfucker. and,
Yeah. And I was with
and
you.
I'm still,
Yes.
Not, again, that's,
And I was
that's
with you.
whatever of me, but that's been my
No,
thing.
I was
so
with you.
far.
Yeah.
I was with you, and I
Yeah.
took the same number of years off till Brian, who I've been trying to get go
Yeah.
since college, was finally like, I'll go with you. Let's go this year. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be petty and not go with my boy.
Right.
And then we had a great time. And then last year I played, but I played in like this little. It
Like
was
Bonnaroo itself did not.
Bonnaroo now has these in the campgrounds. They have these barns, and the
Right.
barns are allowed to program their own entertainment.
So
with
it's kind of like
whatever
they
want.
outsourced the comedy to.
Well, they outsourced the barn entertainment, and
Right.
one particular barn, the Nashville barn, chose to do comedy.
Yeah.
And, I was one of the quote-unquote Nashville comedians, which did hit.
Corey Perry.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
You know him.
You.
Anyway, so that medal.
Hit. Yeah.
That Sturgill.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
really-
Sturgill. Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like we
were talking
went
about
through
opera.
something together.
All right, here. Okay, look. First of all, and I'm this way with any album that comes out. Period. I got to listen to them more. I got to listen to them multiple times front to back, and I want to listen to the album without watching.
Right,
Hell
right,
yeah.
right,
I really
yeah.
want to do that.
Like to really get my head around what the music, because to me it's still at the end of the day like that's its primary usage for me.
Right, yeah,
Meaning,
to
like,
hear-
I'm
listen
on,
to.
I'm on a plane. I'm going to listen to it in my
Yeah,
headphones. I'm not going to
yeah.
be watching the anime.
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So like I haven't done that yet, and also this is not fair what I'm about to say, but for whatever reason, I thought when we sat down to watch it that this was about to be a full-on like anime movie,
Yeah,
like with a
yeah.
like with a narrative
Yeah.
and dialogue even,
Yeah.
like a movie,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a plot line and everything. That Sturgill had done the score and the soundtrack and original songs for, right? Like based on his concepts or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I was about to see.
I did,
Then
too.
that's not what it was. It was kind of a somewhat
Just-
interconnected series of like music videos, kind of, that were set to anime, and it was fucking rad.
So rad.
But it wasn't the thing that I thought that it was going to be.
So it's for a
And so-
mind fuck. It was a
and
mind
so
fuck.
I'm still trying to again. I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
we were-
really
yeah.
We were very on mushrooms.
that also. there is
Yeah,
also that.
And we were trying to connect each story and figure out what the through line was. And the only through line, it turns out, I read about this today, was themes. And
Well-
all those characters were part of the same family, but that's not immediately obvious. Different parts of the family, like different generations.
I'm sure you would have to watch that thing. Like every time I watch Pink Floyd's The Wall, I fucking get something different out of it.
Right.
Dude,
it's definitely
like-
one of those types
Yeah,
of things.
yeah.
And also, regardless of any of that, just the sheer fact that Sturgill being this, legit country, underground fucking hitting
Yeah.
ass motherfucker.
I mean, what about the one
Country
where
as
they blow
fuck,
up
and
Nashville?
then that guy doing that thing.
It's
And the fact
amazing.
that has even happened
Well, dude, you
is
just-
so fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
brought up Pink Floyd. The idea
Right.
that this country motherfucker
Right.
with that gravel dirt accent is doing Pink Floyd type shit.
It's awesome.
It hits for me so
It's
hard.
super awesome.
Man, every time it's like, dude, he gives me a lot of hope.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
He
It
does.
was- it
he
was
makes me
ultimately-
really proud.
It
And,
was
makes,
ultimate-
I also see that there's more options than just to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What
You
they
know what I'm
tell
saying? You,
And it-
you are like what you're supposed to be.
Or what you
yeah.
think, even. Expand your own fucking limitations.
Right, exactly,
man.
exactly. He moved. He could have.
It's also an ultimately hopeful piece of art.
Oh,
Also,
I agree.
This is
So
probably
too.
too late to even do this, and also I feel like most of our fans probably know. But for anybody that don't know, Sturgill Simpson put out an anime / album
Yeah.
together, and it came out last night on Netflix, and we watched it on
Me and
Mushroom.
DJ went to Pop's resale today. We saw Tony, he used to work over here. We saw Pop, and that old boy who also works there, whose name I can't remember. We've talked to him before, or I have. We started talking about it, and that old boy, he hadn't even seen the anime yet. He was like, man, I ain't even seen the video. I've listened to it 3 times back to back yesterday. And he goes, look at me. I'm getting chills right now just talking about it. And I invited him to our show, and he's like, I don't know if I got the money. And I was like, well, buddy, I'll put you on the list. He's like, well, I got to do the 2 drink minimum, and maybe we'll see. My point is, this is an old boy. I mean, he's as old boy as they come.
Yeah.
Who is from Eastern Kentucky, works at this record shop, and Sturgill Simpson has given him chills with his new anime. That fucking rules, man.
What I remember of hearing from him, of course, the visual was so much. It was almost like
You couldn't really focus on the I mean, the
yeah.
music was there and it was hitting, but you couldn't digest the music, the lyrics, and all that shit because of the anime. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean about listening to the album
Right.
by itself.
Oh, I'm gonna listen to that album. I'm sure it's gonna hit for me in several different ways.
Right.
Try to remember where the.
But Drew said something last night that I also was thinking. I feel like another part of it for me is like I've never fucked with that. And when I say I haven't fucked with anime, I've tried. I've never really liked anime that much. And so
All right, guys, I want to take a break from the podcast for just a second to tell you about our new friends and our new sponsors over at Shinesty. Now, I have been actually a fan of Shinesty long before we started this partnership, so to me, this is just a match made in heaven. Shinesty is that company that you see on your Instagram and your Facebook and your Twitter that pops up with all the cool, colorful clothes, and they got the pictures of people wearing all the cool designs and bathing suits and shit by the pool, and they all look pretty and stuff. And that's, they don't let me do the visual part. They're only letting me do the podcast portion because they got some real good lookers on there that are showcasing all the neons and all the cool patterns and whatnot that Shinesty has to offer. It's super rad clothing, but what I want to talk to you guys about today is my favorite product, the thing that I actually had not tried of Shinesty until we started this venture, and boy, am I glad that they did it. They told me, they said, we're going to send you something that is going to change your life. And I was like, okay, a clothing company, there's no way they're going to send me something that changes my life. And then I got a big old box of ball hammocks. That is right, ball hammocks. That is Shinesty's underwear. They're boxer briefs. But the ball hammock part is key. They tuck your boys up in there. And I know that you've heard me on this podcast, or not me, but the guys talk about how huge my balls are, and they are. It's pretty insane. Like, growing up, I didn't realize that they were so big because I didn't run around just like comparing balls with people. But then, we got on this tour, and like, it's just kind of a thing that every now and then the 3 of us see each other's nuts, mainly because every now and then we pull our nuts out. But they were like, dude, your fucking balls are huge. I was like, okay, right on. And I was like, well, maybe that's why I thought everybody else was just sitting on their balls all the time, but apparently it's just me. And I talk to my wife about it all the time because, like, it can be uncomfortable when they're just jammed down there in some regular underwear. And I joke with her, and like, I know off top that, like, she's more uncomfortable with her big old boobs than I am with my big old balls. But I was like, I need the equivalent of like a Wonder Bra or whatever it is that takes the relief off of your back and keeps them all snug up there and gives you that support. And I get that with ball hammocks. It's a little pouch on the front of the underwear, and you just tuck your balls right down in there, and it holds them up. It just nests them super nice. I don't really sit on them anymore. They're not weighing me down. It's super, so honestly, and I'm not even sure this is a feature that they knew was going to happen, but to me, it helps with swamp ass because, like, my balls, get real close to down there, and it makes it hotter. It's just, trust me, if you got big old balls, even if you don't got big old balls, you're going to love this ball hammock support. It's spacious. It gives the boys the space and security they need. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced. The designs are all super hilarious. I came in the first night, had a big old bald eagle where my dick's supposed to be, and of course, Amber was like, yeah, whatever, that's way more rad than what you got going on down there. I was like, freedom, fuck you. And then I came in another night, and there's a hot dog, and of course the hot dog is just perfectly positioned right there on the wiener, making mine look bigger than it actually is. All sorts of cool designs, but more importantly than that, they are comfortable as shit. They're constructed from the finest material on earth, micromodal. It is 3 times softer than cotton. That's right, suck it, cotton. and it's naturally moisture wicking. Well, there you go. That's why my swamp ass has been better, because it's wicking all that moisture. Super breathable. It's for sure the finest fabric to ever grace your grundle. It's bulge enhancing, not that I need it, but it is, if you got little teeny tiny balls, the ball hammock makes your package look huge for real. The ball hammock subscription benefits. Here's what we got going on. The subscription saves you 35% and you get free shipping on every pair. No commitments. You can pause, modify, or cancel your subscription anytime. Customize your subscription. Choose your assortment and frequency. They make sure that you always have a fresh pair for your pair. They also, here's some additional products they have that are super cool. They have like NFL team suits and overalls and Christmas suits and dresses and seamless thongs. That hits. 4-way stretch Hawaiian shirts with a beer pouch. See, now I'm going to have to holler at them, because y'all know you boy the show likes wearing Hawaiian shirts, but they never make them with the 4-way stretch, and I am just constantly having to buy different shirts because I fluctuate. I was a large last year, now I'm an XL, and I swear to God, if I don't get my shit together, I'm about to be a 2X. But if I just had the 4-way stretch on a Hawaiian shirt, I wouldn't have to worry about it too much. Got a beer pouch on it? That's insane. Retro ski suits. Jesus, they got it all. That's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's both for guys and gals, or friends beyond the binary, whatever you want. Ball hammocks by Shinesty. Your pair deserves better. Shinesty is letting our listeners get their first pair of subscription ball hammocks for only $5. Just head to Shinesty.com. That's SHINESTY.com. Shinesty.com/red, RED, to try your first pair today. That is Shinesty.com/red to get your first pair of ball hammock boxers for only $5. Your balls are going to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Shinesty, SHINESTY.com/red. Get on them and hook your balls up like Cho hooks his balls up. But they got sweet underwear for the warmers too, for the folks, the ballless folks, and also clothes and shit like that. Super cool, funky designs, very comfortable fabric. You got to get with Shinesty. Dress like the Cho. Now back to the podcast. Ski.
And so I'm not an anime guy, and I feel like there's
Tropes,
anime tropes, I'm sure, that are in there that are totally lost on me because I'm just not part of that world, that would, I assume, really enhance the experience of watching that. If you're an anime, because I guarantee you there's some anime and country fans out there.
Yeah, definitely. How hard does that hit?
Shit is the most fucking awesome shit.
How hard does that hit?
Right.
And there's somebody out there who's digging that on a fucking level. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I would like to.
What about a Japanese person who's into country music?
Right. Yeah.
Dude, they're obsessed with Elvis.
Yeah, no, and I'm saying, and they get a hold of that.
Dude, it's a thing over there, with just not necessarily country, but cowboys in general, because of AR. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm dead serious, man.
You said when you first arrived on Thursday, you and DJ drove up from Georgia. We're in Lexington, which hits. And you and DJ drove up here. And when you first arrived, you said, DJ's got some shit that I want him to go into on the podcast this week, and I'm not even going to tell you about it. And I just remembered you have got to tell us the story of the Ravenry from last weekend.
Oh, my God.
First, what's the DJ thing?
Dude, I can't even remember, honest to God, now, because he was – what were we talking about in the fucking car that I told you, hey, man, shut the fuck up and tell the boys about this on the podcast?
Shit.
Was it Serpico? Was it that shit?
Well, yeah, we got –
It
wasn't
just
that.
I
don't even want to get into that.
Else. I'm furious now. I should have wrote it down. I was driving and I was dying, so I couldn't get it on my phone. But I just kept saying, I was like, dude, quit telling me this.
Man, so much has happened from that point.
That's so very true.
We've been through a lot. Last night was a lot.
Yeah, dude. It was, yeah.
All right, well, I'll tell you this. While you marinate on it, I'll tell you all the story of what happened to me last week.
Okay.
When we were coming back from San Diego. And I would like to set that up by, did we tell the story of the first time I was in San Diego that this happened to me? The first time the hotel fucked me after we were coming back from San Diego. This is the second time.
Oh, Man, did we tell
If
that
we
stuff?
did, it's fucking fine. That was
Yeah,
a
we
long
did-
time
dude,
ago. Tell it again.
Yeah, so
You
the
go ahead and tell
first
that
time we were
part.
in San Diego, I don't know if it's the first time, but one of the times we were in San Diego, because I already lived in L.A., I was driving back to L.A. after the show that night, and Corey was flying out of LAX the next morning. So he rode with me. And on the way up there, we found Garth Brooks streaming, right? Like on that, because for a long time, Garth Brooks was one of them that didn't have his shit out there for streaming.
Yeah.
But we found it on Amazon Music, so we were rocking Garth Brooks the whole way back. Had the top down on the Jeep. It was hitting like a motherfucker. Halfway up, or so, Corey wanted to stop at a rest stop because he said he wanted like a snack, and I was like, man, I don't know if there's any like gas stations coming up, and he was like, we saw a sign for a rest stop, and he was like, that'll be fine, that'll hit. They got vending machines at those. I'll just get me a candy bar or whatever. I really want a Butterfinger. And I was like, okay, baby. So we pull in there, and it's like 2 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning, and this rest stop, not a truck stop, not a gas station, just one of those like rest stops, was fucking packed with people at 2:30 in the morning. There were no parking spots. There was lines for the bathroom. I mean, it was fucking packed with people at 2:30 in the morning. And I was like, what the fuck is this about? So Corey goes up there. I park, or I just circle the parking lot, and he goes to get his candy bar, and it takes forever because there's so many people. And he comes back and he's like, sorry, I just really need this Butterfinger, you know. And so then we left, and right after that, like 2 miles down the interstate, we hit an immigration checkpoint. And so I'm assuming that like word had got out or something.
Oh, shit.
And that's why all these people were congregating at that rest stop at 2:30 in the morning because
that's
otherwise
100%.
make sense of that.
No,
You know what I mean?
because,
Right,
dude,
right.
I've been a road comic for
That's
a very long
wild,
time. I've
man.
stopped at a bunch of rest stops. I've seen them like pretty full.
Like, did you?
Yeah,
did,
but
not
not
at
at fucking 2, 3
you
in the
happen
morning.
to note it being like
Immigration? Yo, it was 100% fucking border patrol or whatever, INS or whatever it is. And what also is funny and shitty about it is that, dude, literally the checkpoint was them standing there with flashlights, like, and it was basically like, white.
good,
Go ahead.
good.
Oh
come on.
yeah,
White?
yeah,
Go ahead.
definitely.
Because
Oh yeah.
when we pulled through,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
to stop. It just like
So
so
who-
the flashlight on. I was like, go ahead. But so
At the rest stop, were they all Hispanic?
I wasn't even paying attention. Like
We don't
to that.
see
don't
color.
Hits for you guys.
I didn't get out of the car.
Yeah.
And don't see color.
Don't see
anyway,
color.
so that happened. It held us up. It held
at
us
night.
up. It held us up quite a bit, which will be relevant later. So then we finally get to Corey's hotel by the airport. Now it's like 4 in the morning. And when I drop him off, right as we're pulling in, there's 2 shuttle buses full of people who turned out to be from New Zealand getting off the bus to go check in at the same time Corey was.
And they all
So-
beat me.
So we got there 30 seconds after they did. So he had to wait in line at 4 in the morning for like a fucking hour just to check into his hotel.
Then, for the record, then when I finally got up there, I was like, Jesus Christ. She's like, are you not with them? And I was like, no. She goes, oh, hell, you could have just walked on up. I'm sure they've been. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
So
Yeah.
and then-
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
this
I
is the
think I
fun-
would have. I just been
I
like,
said,
hey, y'all are gonna be here a long time, no matter what.
this is
got-
just how insecure
we
I
were
am.
listening to Garth Brooks, like I said, on the way up there, right? So that had happened, and I'm back at home taking a shit, about to go to bed. Corey's texting me all this ravenry that's going on. He's standing in line. I was like, God, that don't hit. He's like, yeah. And you know what really don't hit? The fact that none of this shit would be happening to me right now if I didn't make you stop to get a goddamn butter. and he goes, dot, dot, dot. But you know what, baby? Then I'd have had to miss the dance.
So that was the last time before this that we were coming back from San Diego, and I decided to get a hotel by the airport so that it'd be easier for me the next morning to fly out. So did that again this last week or whatever, and Drew's driving home. They're going to drop me off at the hotel. Little preface to all this to make it make sense here in a little bit, and I'd already booked the room. Everything was confirmed, yada, yada, yada. While we were in San Diego, I lost my credit card.
And his mind.
And my mind, yeah.
On the last episode of the podcast, we went into the whole thing of how much
Yeah.
on one
Yeah.
Corey had been in
Yeah.
San Diego
Yeah.
already. So that weekend, he'd done all that shit, and then this happened.
And so my theory on that, by the way, which I told you, which kind of checks out, but it also sucks, is that, like, I'm not, like, I lost my phone, I lost my credit card. And I know that to a lot of people that seems like, yeah, something the show would do. It's really not. Like, I'll be losing my hotel card and shit, but stuff that's, like, really important, I kind of don't. And it's because I'm always like, make sure I got this. I'm kind of freaking out. I have been taking CBD like a motherfucker lately, and it's really been helping with my anxiety. And I think that while my anxiety is shitty, it is also coincidentally the thing that holds it together for me.
Right.
Like having so much anxiety, I don't lose my fucking computer or leave my cell phone somewhere because
Yeah.
I'm so fucking terrified that I will that I don't. So that's my theory on that. Anyways, lost my phone, got it back. Lost my credit card, didn't get it back, had to cancel it. So they're driving up, and they dropped me off at Trey's, and I Uber over to the airport. That was my fault, too, for the record. We were driving. They were supposed to drop me off at the airport.
Everybody don't know, the LAX is in the like southwest part of Los Angeles. Me and Drew live in the valley, which is the very northern part. It's like an hour away with very little it's fucking far away.
Yeah, so I was like, when we were leaving, I was like, y'all just, when I get to your place, I'll Uber to the hotel. And they were like, dude, fuck that. We'll just drop you off at the airport. And I'm like, okay. They're like,
it's on the way.
They're like, put in your hotel for the airport, and we'll go there on the maps or whatever. And so I did. And then we get to a certain place, and they're like, where the fuck is your hotel? Cause
We're in Glendale.
Yeah, and I just put in the wrong goddamn hotel. Like, well, actually, now it would be closer if we just went to our house and then you fucking Uber there.
Yeah, I was like, buddy, I love you, but I'm not driving you an hour back to the airport.
I wouldn't
an hour back home.
Wouldn't have wanted him to. Wouldn't have fucking wanted him to. So, anyways, that already happened. I done fucked myself on that. So we get to Trey's, and I get in the Uber, and we get up to the hotel. So I walk in, and the literal first thing that happens is as I'm walking through the door with my bags, the woman who is behind the counter steps out from behind the counter and just walks up and goes, "Are you Mr. Forster?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, God." And I was like, "Yes." And she goes, "I'm so sorry." And I was like, "What?" And she goes, we don't have a room for you." And I was like, I have a reservation. And she's like, no, we know you have a reservation. I'm already got the Seinfeld shit going on in my head. Like, no, we know we have your reservation. We know what the reservation's for. I don't think you do, because if you did, I'd have a room. Anyone can take them. It's the holding them. Yeah. So I'm thinking that they literally just like fucked up, forgot to put my room in, and now they're full. And which I would have been furious. And I was like, what happened? It's like 1 in the morning maybe or something like that. And she goes, there was only one room left. That's where we put you, and it and only it flooded completely.
Damn.
So I'm sitting there like, okay, obviously you'll just give me my money back, and then I'll go get another hotel. And she's like, actually, right next door is our sister hotel, the embassy or whatever. It doesn't matter. She goes, I'm going to call over there. I'm going to fill out some paperwork right now. Not only are we going to refund you, we're going to refund you and give you a free room. So like you'll get your money back, and then that's good over there. And I'm like,
that's a ding.
That's it. So yeah, in my mind I was like, you know what? All right, this is going to take 5 more minutes, and I just got a fucking free room. Yeah. Hell yeah. So now I'm
Makes up for that $50 Uber you had to take.
Well, whatever. Still way better deal.
Right.
So I'm up here now. So they fill out this paperwork, yada, yada.
Now he's here.
Yeah. I walk over. It's just a little right around the corner to the other hotel, and I walk in. They're like, "Hey, Mr. Forster?" And I was like, "Yeah." They go, "All right, let's get you set up. We got your room up here and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada." So I'm just like, "All right, cool." And they go, "Just need your photo ID and a credit card for
no.
Yeah, credit card for incidentals." And I go, actually, about that, I lost my credit card in San Diego. But, like, I already paid for that room with my credit card. So, like, they have it on file. And he's like, no, I need it for this. And I was like, yeah, but, and then I was like, I've got the horse bank card in here. Sometimes it don't work. Sometimes it does. Fuck, I don't know. I'll try it. Didn't work, of course. So I was like,
if you don't keep up, the horse bank is Corey's debit card. He's got a debit card from a bank that is
run by a horse,
owned and operated by a horse.
Yeah. So that all, and I'm like, okay. In my mind, I'm still just like, surely to God, they're gonna eventually be like, this is a different circumstance. This,
what's the worst you could do? Eat some peanuts,
right? So they didn't fucking have that. Anyways, so I was like, dude, I don't have a credit card. Like, I don't know what to tell. I can't. I don't have that. And he's like, yeah. And I go, I'll tell you what. I said, let me just call my wife, and she'll give me my credit card number, and then this will be over. And I'm like, I've done it. He goes, no, I have to physically swap something.
But that can't be true.
And that's what I said. I go, no, you don't. I was like, because you
can book it online.
That's what I said. I said, dude, when I book this, nobody swapped my shit.
Right.
And he's like, that's just what he goes, sir, this is not. I took a step back. His name was Diego. If you're listening, love you, buddy. I was like, hey man, before anything goes any further, please understand that I know that you do not own this hotel, and I know that you don't want this to be happening to me. So if I start acting like an ass, it's not towards you, but you have to understand pretty pissed off right now. Like, I have a flight in the morning. She's like, no, sir, it's okay. He goes, and I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. So I was like, well, shit. I'm like, I obviously could call one of y'all, but I was like, no, I can get it figured out long. I don't want to fucking do that because I'll figure something out. So I get over there and I'm just sitting down. I'm going through my fucking whole bag because I was like, I wasn't convinced that I didn't just, my card wasn't in my jeans and it fell out of something. So I'm rooting through all my fucking shit. All my stuff is all over this goddamn hotel. He's just standing up there playing fucking Deer Hunter on the computer or some shit. And so anyways, keep going through all that. Still cannot find my goddamn card. And so anyways, I get up there and I'm like, dude, are you sure? Like, I can't, like, my wife will give you the number. And he's like, sir, it is just the policy of this hotel that we cannot do that. So I'm about an hour or something has gone by at this point, by the way. It's like 2:15 or something like that. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe he's not communicating with this other hotel well enough. Like, maybe they just called and said, hey, we need you to open up a room, but didn't explain our fucking, there was a leak and it flooded and all this shit. You know, he's already had a reservation. So I go back over there to tell them that, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's, no, I guess that's their policy. And I was like, right, can you just call over there and say, hey, we know it sucks that he doesn't have his credit card, but, like, you know, and they're like, no, we can't. And I didn't start really freaking out, but I just go, all right, well, I'm going to go sleep on the fucking street then. I guess that's what's going to happen, is I'm going to sleep on the fucking street. Is that really what you want? And they're like, no, sir, of course that's not what you want. And I was like, I think it's what you want, because literally all you'll have to do is go open the goddamn door and let me sleep in there. This is a different situation. Like, I understand what your hotel policy is. I totally get that, and I sympathize with it. But I guarantee you, if you called the fucking Residence Inn CEO and explain this whole thing, you'd be like, just fucking open up a room. Jesus Christ, we want his money on the back end. Just open a fucking room.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. They're like, sir, I understand why you're upset, but, like, we just cannot do that at all.
What if you don't have a fucking credit card?
Well,
But you did.
You,
That's the whole thing. They had.
I just mean a human being.
You can do cash, but I have no way of getting cash because I don't have my fucking debit card with me. Because that was their thing. They go, you can use cash, and I was like, I don't have cash. And they were like, well, I don't know what to tell you. So I can't stay at this hotel any longer because not only can they not help me, they literally don't even have a room. At least at the other hotel, eventually this dude might fucking snap and let me in. So I go back over there. I'm sitting down. I'm trying to figure it out. I then texted the group, y'all up. That's all I said. I didn't say, 911 emergency, y'all up. I then tried to call Nat because, Nat, if you're listening, I don't really give a fuck to bother you. So I tried to call Nat a couple times, but it's at this point 2:45 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Nobody's answering. I'm still trying to figure all this shit out. And I'm literally – so then I go on Delta and look to when the earliest flight is. I'm like, when's our – I'll just switch my flight till 6 in the morning. I'll just go my ass on over to the airport.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it sucks, but, like, fucking it's better than than sitting outside. So I see one at 6, and I'm like, fucking hey, it's 2:45 in the morning. And then I realized, dude, TSA ain't even fucking there. And they're not. I called up there, they're like, yeah, they don't get here till 4. So you can't even, like, even if I went to the airport, I'd just be sitting there instead of sitting at the hotel. And the hotel had this shit. Delta don't have none of that. So
The shit being cushions.
So I'm, like, literally losing my mind. I've exhausted what I think is all my options. And so then I was like, fuck. He said if I had cash. Can't get cash, but we live in fucking the 21st century. I said, Diego. He goes, yeah. I said, do you have Venmo? And he goes, yeah, I have Venmo. And I go, does this hotel have a goddamn ATM? He goes, yeah. And I go, okay, I'm going to Venmo you. You said, what is the deposit? He's like, $250. I said, I'll Venmo you $300 fucking dollars right now, and you can keep the 50. I said, go get the money out, and then I'll use that as my deposit. He's like, sir, company policy. And I was like, company policy my ass, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep. I get that. I totally understand. But, like, I'm on the streets if this doesn't work out. He's like, sorry, company I tried to give him my Xbox, which was in my fucking bag. I was like, if it's that, hold this. You know this is mine. You know it's worth more than $250. Hold this shit.
Why did you tell Diego? Diego needs to reprioritize.
I said all this. And dude, the thing is, like, he wasn't being an asshole to me, like.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
he absolutely was being a fucking Diego. Fuck Diego.
No, listen to me. Hear me out. I mean, in tone. I mean in tone.
Right. Well, that's how they.
Well, that's how they operate,
that
man.
polite asshole shit.
I
I've been,
understand
dude,
all that.
that's terrible.
I understand all that, but he also was never trying to shoo me off. He told me at one point, he's like, dude, you can sit on that couch for as long as you want. That's totally fine by me once you figure this out. So, like,
The
yes, he was
motherfucker, if
being
I
an-
could just sleep here on this couch tonight,
think
then you can go get
I
me
don't-
some goddamn money
Okay.
at his ATM.
okay, dude, but, like, I'll defend Diego a little bit, and, like, he literally he's got it. Maybe he
Might have
really
lost
needs
his
that.
job.
Right, man. Maybe
Right.
he really needs that job. Like
Right.
Diego's was not a white guy. If you haven't ascertained, so like I in my mind was like, that's why I kept telling him, I was like, dude, I know this ain't you. He may have an asshole boss, and he really might need that job. So none of that really
Was his
fucking
boss even there at 2:40?
No. If his I would have got a fucking room. If his
That's
boss was there, I
exactly. That's what. So
guarantee you.
Diego was being a dick.
I think Diego was being scared.
Diego
So-
was a dick.
So none of that matters. But except for that, Diego
Diego
won't give me the fucking money.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well,
Diego.
hell, it's like fucking getting close to 4 now. I can probably just sit up and then go over to the airport. And then I start getting delirious. And in my brain, I'm like, I need to fucking sleep. I need something. I need to figure this out. God damn it, what am I going to do? And I was like, Diego, could you fucking watch my bags? I was sitting right here. I need to go outside. And he's like, yeah. So I go outside and I start walking around. It's like 4 in the morning. I start walking around just like, what the fuck can I do? I'm like literally losing my mind. And then I turn the corner and it's a completely separate hotel that I'm fairly certain doesn't have shit to do with these people. And I walk in the hotel, delirious as a motherfucker, and there is a fat, sassy black lady that is running the joint there. She's up front. And I just go in, I go, ma'am, do you have Venmo? And she goes, yeah, honey, I do. And I said, do y'all have an ATM here at this? And she goes, yeah, we do. And I said, if I Venmo you like $300, will you give me some money? You know, like $250? And she just goes, shit, I'll give you whatever you need, boo-boo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Fuck Diego. Fuck Diego.
But that's where,
Yeah,
but that's where my,
fuck Diego.
but that's
Fuck
where my,
Diego. Down
that's
with
where my free-
Diego.
that's where my free room was, by the way, though. So like, I still went back to
Oh, I
Diego.
know. Yeah, you went back.
I went back.
I'm wondering-
Slammed. You remember when Kramer
Yeah, you
lost the
did.
bet on
Yeah.
Seinfeld? I literally went.
Yeah.
I wonder
Give me a
what
goddamn
Diego
room.
thought
Yeah.
you did for that money. My man went outside at 4 a.m., came back with 250
Well,
cash.
Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, I mean, he just was like, man, goddamn rednecks, boy. I'll tell you what. Like that motherfucker went and whooped somebody's ass.
No.
So
Also,
Suck the
though,
dick, got
weren't
your
you?
butt
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, weren't you supposed to get home earlier than you did?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Didn't some
That's
other
what-
shit happen
well,
with the plane? Or
no,
what?
no, nothing happened with the plane. I didn't want to tell y'all because it would ruin this whole story.
He overslept.
No, I didn't oversleep. I fucking changed my flight because I got in my room.
Right.
By the time I'd been through all of that, I was like, dude, I'll be goddamned if I went through all that and literally lay my head down for an hour and a half. So I just fucking, I was like, tomorrow's ruined. So I
Yeah.
changed my flight till 1:30.
Nice.
Yeah, and I slept, and also I called down there. You know, normally you say, can I get a late checkout? I called down there and I go, Diego, I'm checking out late. And he just goes, whatever time, man. It's totally cool.
Please just don't murder me,
So
dude.
no, I got my flight changed because, like, dude, I had to I had to jerk off and have a drink, which I did because I had some of them drinks in my bag, and then yeah, I went to sleep and like, but that was worse than the fucking Switzerland tour bus because like that only took like an hour.
Damn.
Yeah,
Drew,
So,
Yes.
if that had happened to you,
Well,
would you be in jail right now?
a similar no, but I wouldn't have gotten. Well, I might have figured out the Venmo thing. I'm surprised Cho, being him and being so jovial, didn't get what he wanted quicker. I had a similar thing
if
near.
it'd been the fat black lady, I would have.
I had a similar thing near the L.A. airport, and Angel, who is a piece of shit, and I hope he dies. Me and Andy were in our room. This is before we lived in L.A., but we were by the L.A. airport, and the air conditioner wasn't working, and what it was doing was just blowing out hot air randomly.
No head.
And we kept waking up. I mean, dude, I'm like waking up, sweat. I mean, it's literally 89 degrees in the room.
Fuck
And I
that.
walked down there at 3 in the morning, and I'm like, hey, the room's 89, blah, blah, blah. They're like, well, we'll send maintenance up. They send maintenance up. They tinker with it. Nothing happens. I wake back. They say they fixed it. I go back to sleep. I wake back up at 4 in the morning, 89 degrees, sweating. I come back down there, tell them that again, and I'm like, I want my money back. And long story short, they were like, we'll switch you rooms. I'm like, switch me rooms? It's 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm leaving at 6. I want my
Yeah.
money back.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't give it to me, and I told them all to go fuck themselves. And I told Angel, I said, because the dude called his manager over because he had just gotten there. Because
Yeah.
like now it's approaching 6 a.m. by the time. Andy's kind of still asleep, sort of struggling to be. And I told him something along the lines of, hey, man, I get it. Like, your life sucks and you suck and this is all the power you can wield. Fuck you. And then you were talking about how they get you. I also called their customer service, like, corporate.
Yeah.
And that was, she didn't want to help me because the manager had already told me no, but she couldn't, like, get off the phone with me. And then she said something about, they said they would switch you rooms. And I was like, yeah, and then we'll get an hour's worth of sleep somewhere else. Like, they didn't get, I didn't have a comfortable night, which is what I paid for. It's 90 degrees in my room. I want my money back. Like, switching rooms, and my wife's asleep. And she said something like, oh, your wife's too delicate to wake up. And I go, what did you say, bitch? And she hung up on me.
Yeah, they'll do that. If you cuss,
they're
they'll
allowed
go
to.
off their script.
Actually, I didn't even say, what did you say, bitch? I didn't even insult her. I think I said, what the fuck did you just say? And she hung up on me.
I like that was how they get you.
Yeah, if you say fuck,
This
they're
is how
allowed to
they
hang
get
up.
you.
Yeah, they do.
They
that.
do. They try to make
I know. That's never started a bad conversation.
You want to know how they get you?
Yes,
I do want to know how they
Well,
get you.
we're almost
Matter of
done.
fact,
I want to both confess and sort of defend myself. I can't imagine how many people who listen to the podcast were at the Late Show last night. There were probably only 60 people there, 100 people there. I don't know.
oh goddamn!
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck?
it sounded
that
like
a
a
dinosaur?
goat.
In God's name.
It's on vibrate.
Oh, okay. It sounds like a dying goat, don't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
First off, I don't know why my phone's on the ringer. I've never.
Can you make it do that again so everybody can hear?
Oh, it's Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't know why my phone is even ringing. It stays on vibrate. This
All right.
shouldn't be happening.
So here's what happened. Brian came. Brian's here in Lexington with us. He brought mushrooms. I did them in between shows. Brian comes up. He gives y'all a little bit of mushrooms, and he's like, these are the penis envy. These are the regulars. Penis envy is a very specific type of mushroom. I've only ever done it once. It's very strong. I'm trying to get through the story quickly. I had accidentally taken a fuck ton of penis envy thinking it was the regular mushrooms. Penis envy is the strongest mushroom that you can get in America easily.
It ain't no joke, dog.
It ain't no joke. And I took a fuck ton of them, and then I was like, oh, no, but it'll be fine. Like, there's time. It started hitting
yeah,
me.
time is awesome when you're up. For
Yeah.
It started hitting me. I do my whole set, and I guess we can tell the story both from y'all's perspective and mine. I do my whole set. I get through it. I'm feeling it pretty strong. I know my eyes are as big as stars. There's only like a few moments where I added very mushroom type commentary, but some of it hit, some of it didn't. Whatever. It's fine. And I get to the very end, and I have a joke that I'm doing right now.
Well, before that, let me set this part
Okay.
up from our perspective, and
Okay.
then I'll kick it right to
Yeah,
you to what
yeah.
you said. So, me and Trey are sitting there in the back on mushrooms, but just kind of have the little tiny buzz, just kind of rolling. Everything's cool, man. Nothing's a big deal. So we're sitting there and we're kind of talking because, like, we know. I was like, man, because Drew, mushrooms affect him different than they do us. Like, the amount that will get me and Trey just kind of like, all right, this is fucking great, man. Will, fuck him up a lot more. And so we were sitting there.
Y'all said it to me last night. That's how I am with drugs. I don't think that's true of mushrooms, but you
I know
can
for
continue.
a fact it's true with mushrooms because we've done the same amount before, and you were way more fucked up than me. It's not an insult, by the way.
I know.
envy the shit
I
out of
just
it.
don't. Okay, whatever.
Well, anyways, I said that to Trey. I was like, man, here's the deal, though. That's sometimes Drew will give me some, and I won't even really feel it, and he'll be kind of fucked up. This time, he gave me some. I took it. I'm kind of fucked up,
Right.
and he took
Way more.
so very
Way
much
more.
more.
Y'all
than
told me how much
So-
you took. I think I took about 4 or 5 much.
That's
that's
crazy.
right. That's insane.
'Cause
So I said that, and Trey looked at me and he goes, because you were having a great set.
Yeah.
He goes, considering all that, I mean, he's holding it together pretty good, and pretty good was just kind of floating out of his mouth, and then
as Drew did this.
So I have a joke where in the joke is a story about doing mushrooms, and there's a line in there that's like kind of hard to handle. Whatever. I can't do the whole thing, but then I tell a story about telling that joke. And the joke isn't necessarily anti-cop, but it's talking about how I don't like cops and cops scare me, and there's this notion of people calling the cops on mushrooms, and that's freaking me out. And I told this joke in New York one night, and someone got upset, I thought.
We've told this particular story.
we told that story on the podcast
before.
about, so I'm telling that story. Like, I do the joke, and then I tell the story about the joke. And I talk about how I'm meeting this dude in the meet and greet, and he looks upset with me, and I say, I'm expecting him to say something like, my son died in 9/11. because in my head, that's like the most insane thing that a human being could say
Yeah.
to me after I did this kind of anti-cop joke.
Yeah.
That would make me feel shitty because the dude and I have already been
But
fighting.
anytime anyone says, it just says that.
It's like so
Yeah.
so I'm saying
Hilarious.
as part of my story. But the way I said it last night on mushrooms is the funniest thing this dude could have said to me was my son died in 9/11.
So
He said something like, I'm expecting him to say, my son died in 9/11. No one, like, laughs at that. He's like, oh, fuck you.
And
That'd be the
that's what I'm
funniest
saying.
fucking thing
I
you could have
doubled
said.
down.
If you walked up to
Yeah,
somebody saying, it'd be
yeah,
so
yeah,
funny if
yeah.
you walked up and said, my
That's
son
what I'm
died
saying.
in 9/11.
I doubled down
So-
and I berated the audience.
Yeah,
As you guys
yeah.
were saying, he kept it together pretty well.
Yeah.
I am now berating the audience last night going, oh, come on. That is absolutely the funniest thing
So-
he could have said
so
to me
again-
is my son died in 9/11.
So,
Yeah.
so let me back up just for a visual here. Let me back up just a second. So what I
stand
said
by.
was Trey says, man, he's holding it together pretty good. Immediately, how hilarious would it be if he was like, my son died on 9/11?
Oh,
and
fuck you guys.
And then
That'd
me and
be
Trey,
fucking
hilarious.
then our mushrooms kick in even harder because he realizes, like, I'm about to have to go up. There's no way he's not
go
bailing.
up right
We
after
were literally
this.
hugging each other like two fucking Titanic survivors on a goddamn plank trying to find
Yeah.
a fucking light on a boat. Like,
And
just going,
laughing.
oh, fucking God. Oh, fucking God.
And I heard somebody squeal laughing as they
Dude,
ran out the door.
dude, that was me. I was over there by the
Oh, he was
booth.
losing
I was
his
at,
shit.
yeah, I was over there by the booth, dude. It just eruption because it was so. The timing couldn't have been. It was.
I
oh,
was so
chef's
close
kiss.
to
It was
being
so-
done.
You were dude.
But
And
like,
you know what it was?
Even
It
not
was
even
the-
being there, hearing
it
y'all
was-
say that, it was like so.
You still were thinking the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You know what it-
yeah.
And you
There
know what
was
it was,
something-
man? It was the fucking baseball announcer. You're not supposed to comment on the
On
perfect,
perfect
game.
game,
And
yeah.
Trey
Yeah.
fucking
God,
said it.
you-
and then
you
Yeah.
jinxed
fucking,
me.
I mean, drilled the backstop and killed a little boy behind it. On 9/11.
9/11.
Yeah.
Everybody,
All right.
we got to go. We'll see you later. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Mercy, mercy, fart on me. That's the way that love should be, baby. You're the only one I see. So mercy, mercy, fart on me. Everybody now. Mercy, mercy, fart on me. That's the way that love should be, baby. You're the only one I see. So mercy, mercy, fart on me. Why don't you fart on me? Oh, come on now. Good Lord.
I'd overdone it there at the end there, Billy.
Just gotta always have the last damn word, don't he?
Can we take it from the top one more time? I believe I can fart better than that.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.